Hey, yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? It is a beautiful Saturday morning, dog. October 19th, as of this recording is 11:06 a.m. You know what I mean? I just finished eating some good food here in Fort Greene Park. Look at me, Fort Greene Park. Here in Fort Greene. You know what I'm saying? Fort Greene and shit. You know, you know what? I want to play ball today, but you know what I'm saying? I got to get new shoes and I got to get a new ball because the ball that I got, you know, it caught a flat. You know what I mean? It caught a flat and stuff. Like, damn, man, I can't do shit, you know? And also while I was watching TV, you know, I was looking at B-Cat. You know, I'm my bad, Brick. It's funny because Brick is not too far from where I live at. Brick is basically, you know, Brick for my 90s heads and such. You know, Brick is basically B-Cat, and B-Cat is public access here in New York City. It's a public access channel. It's actually 4 public access channels here in New York City that is exclusively dedicated to Brooklyn. So, you know, there was this show that I seen. I was just turning to shit. You know what I'm saying? And because I was bored, I was trying to look for, you know, to kill some time while I was eating. And they gave a show called The Lady V Show. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know, but the show had this banging dark-skinned girl, yo. Like, she had a I think it was a flower hat on, some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it looked like a bucket hat, but not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a fitted hat stuff. Her hair is short. You know, and it's funny because she reminded me of this coworker at my job who I got a crush on. Like, she looks good as shit. You know what I mean? She looks like dark skinned and everything. She looks like Pam from Total. Because I love females. I love females with short hair too. You know what I mean? I love, like, females with short hair like that. Man, you talk about sexiness on another level, boy. Oh my goodness. You know what I mean? I got a thing for females with short hair. You know, like the one who, like the design that Eve had back in the days and such. Like, you know, yeah. I dated a girl who had short hair. She looked good. You know what I mean? She looked mad good. You know, like, it was a girl from Brownsville who I used to fuck with. Her name was Keisha. And, you know, only thing I didn't like about her was that, you know, she was a smoker and a drinker. You know what I mean? But her body was nice and everything. Oh, man, short hair, forget about it. But it's not, this topic is not about females and such, right? This topic is about something that I wanted to bring up because I was looking for different topics to come up with for Pro Wrestling Tag for today because, you know, I need to put out content. And, you know, I asked ChatGPT for some content and they gave me some good ones. And one of them is, you know, the role of independent wrestling today, after AEW, and does it still have an impact? And I thought this is a great topic to discuss because we know that a couple years ago, when someone would leave WWE, someone would leave WWE, you always hear people say, oh, well, you know, they could just work indies and make good money for the rest of their life. They don't got to do anything else for the rest of their career. Now, I mean, they could just do indies and you know, and kick back. You know what I'm saying? And they could charge whatever they want to charge, you know, for booking fees and, you know, merchandise that they sell from Pro Wrestling Tees or whatnot. You know what I mean? That's not the case at this point anymore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's okay. So it is. Is it still the case in terms of, you know, wrestlers making fees and such? Yeah, of course. But the impact of it is not the same. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? The impact of it is not. It's not how it was, you know, like some 6-7 years ago. You know, the indies now. You know, because the fact that there's no indie darlings anymore, you know, it doesn't, like, there is no clamor for someone now to go to the independents and make an impact there, you know, as it was like some 7-8 years ago. Because remember, the main person who I think about with that is AJ Styles. When AJ Styles left TNA, he wound up going to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He wound up having a better career in New Japan Pro Wrestling than in TNA. Because remember, he was Mr. TNA. And then and he was also wrestling for Ring of Honor too, but his home base was New Japan Pro Wrestling. And, WWE came calling. It was him, Shinsuke Nakamura, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows that all signed. And, that was at that time where independent wrestling did have an impact and it was important. Excuse me. Because you had, the thing with that is you had two prominent indie promotions that, WWE and the United States as a whole really, really, really put their scouts in when it came down to wrestlers jumping to WWE. And that was Ring of Honor and Evolve. And you had other ones too, but those two were like the main ones. Those two were the primary ones. You don't got that no more. You know what I mean? You do not have those bases where, WWE is gonna go and charming for talent. Like they're not gonna go and focus on talent, from like fucking Deadlock Pro Wrestling or fucking Pro Wrestling Evolve or House of Glory and stuff. Why? Because the impact no longer hits at this point. Why do you think that WWE has the Performance Center? You know what I mean? Like, why do you think they use TNA for talent? Why do you think they mostly aim for that? And I do believe the reason why there's a decline or the role now with independent wrestling have decreased largely is because of AEW. To me, I said this before and I'm gonna say this again. I remember making a video about this. AEW destroyed independent wrestling. I think they destroyed the essence of what indie wrestling, the role indie wrestling's about. I think, when you have too much independent wrestling in your repertoire, it doesn't work, especially for a casual audience. You need the casual audience. You need that. Especially when you got fucking people who work on Monday through Friday. They work a 9 to 5, and it doesn't work. Like independent wrestling, the phenomenon of it does not. Sorry, I'm like burping because I ate. It does not work the same now than it did 8 years ago. It doesn't. Because again, AEW came and ruined everything. And if you also think about it, there's nobody in the independents right now with a buzz that people want. Nobody. If you notice, there's no true indie darling right now with a buzz. There's none that that people want to clamor off. There's none. Why? Because the role of independent wrestling is, the role now of independent wrestling is to just have wrestlers wrestle, until WWE calls their name or AEW to a certain point. But also, it's like what I said before. WWE does not really, they don't really, look towards the indies anymore like that for talent. Why? Because, they're mostly looking at TNA, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling for talent. Shit, that's what they got the Performance Center for. And listen, I'm not saying that it can't happen, but I think it's a rarity. It's a rarity now. And now in 2024, it's more than a rarity that you have like a true indie darling, come from the ranks of, these independent promotions that can do big business. I mean, Jacob Fatu might be the last one. He legit might be the last one. Other than that, who else do you know? And I don't want to hear about Javon Evans and stuff. Fuck you and suck my dick. He came from he wrestled in dark. WWE saw him wrestle in dark. They see he didn't have a contract. they went and they scooped them up. I don't hear anything else. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? They was gonna sign Camille, and Camille burned them. WWE said, "Fuck this shit. We're now going to rely on our PC performance." Plain and simple. You know, and you know what? We're only gonna scout people who are in TNA or AEW. Bar fucking none, nigga. Bar fucking none. Or New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there you go. You know, the role of independent wrestling now, like I said, it's diminished. There is no meaning with indie wrestling anymore. There isn't none. There isn't none. Who? Matt Cardona? You know what I'm saying? I got a video coming up too that I might do later tonight and post tomorrow about, you know, why Matt Cardona is not, you know, where people thought he was gonna be. And what I'm gonna say is gonna blow your motherfucking mind. You know what I mean? But like I said, independent wrestling at this point in time, in 2024, the impact of it is done. It's done. It's just there. You know what I mean? It's just fucking there. You know, and mind you, the other thing too, remember you had like a shitload of indie wrestlers, you know, that was making the waves and such, right? Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. You see it. You clearly fucking see it. I'm about to be out, guys. You know what I'm saying? So this video is actually going to be going up at about 12:30, 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? Because after this, I got to go to the supermarket to buy some food. You know what I mean? I'm going to take a shower in a little bit because I need to smell good for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to be out. Peace.